Hello, everybody. I'm happy to see you today. My name is Ina, and today we are going to conduct and to discuss future forms. We will have such webinar. Actually, we will have 4 webinars in rows about different future forms, future tenses, and special rules which we need to use when we want to express some future actions. The first webinar will be for all levels. Doesn't matter what kind of level you are. I will try to speak not very quickly, and we will discuss with you basic future forms which can help us to express our future actions. This could be our plans, maybe some spontaneous decisions, probably some arrangements, and so on and so forth. This is the only 1 minute which you will see. The rest of the webinar I will conduct showing you PowerPoint presentation, and at the end you will see me again when I will make some kind of conclusion. So let's begin. You will see now the PowerPoint presentation, and I will comment it. Okay, fine. So, as you can see, the topics that we will discuss are present simple, continuous, to be going to, and future simple. I will start with the first one. This is going to be present simple. Actually, before discussing it, I would like to look with you at some pictures and to make some kind of sentences, to create sentences which can help us to describe them using some future forms. You can use anything you want or you know. For example, the first one, we can say that the guys are going to a party, or they are going to prepare for the exams, or they will probably go to space soon. The next one, we got here a picture of Disney World, and we can say that next summer we are going to the Disney World, or I'm planning to take my kids to the Disney World. The third picture, we can see what the policeman is planning to do. He is going to shoot. The fourth one, we can see here a boy, and we can imagine that there is a conversation between this boy and the girl. The boy says, I don't understand something in this book. And the girl says, I'll help you, or let me show you. And the fifth picture, we have here a guy who is going to throw a ball. So we can say that he's going to throw a ball. Let's move on. The first one, maybe it can be a surprise for you, but actually present simple is used to express some future actions. Usually these actions which are connected to the timetable. So some regular actions which happen every day or every month, and this activity or this action we will do in the future. Or also it can be a part of a fixed routine. But as for me, these two rules are the same. Usually we use this rule when we talk about the different timetable of some public transport, or when we travel, like for buses, for cars, for trains, planes, and so on. They have a specific schedule according to which they move, and when we want to describe it, we have to use present simple. Like you can see the examples. Is there a bus at 6:30 on Sundays? So we ask about future, but we use present simple. Or they publish the exam results on the 8th of August. Again, this is a fixed routine. According to the timetable, every year they publish, and that's why we need to use present simple. Now I suggest doing one exercise, which is about this rule. This is the exercise about present simple. I will give you a minute. You have to use these 5 words in our 5 sentences, and you have to use present simple. Please keep in mind that in present simple we use as when we are talking about the third person, or the object he, she, or it. So you've got 1 minute, and after that we will look at the answers. So let's check. The first one we have here, what time does the class? And the next word we have here, begin tomorrow morning. You can say begin or start, doesn't matter. And the answer is it starts at 8 o'clock. Again, we have here does and as. Even if we talk about future tomorrow morning, we anyway use present simple because the start begins every morning at 8 o'clock. So it starts at 8 o'clock tomorrow as well. The next one, the coffee shop opens at 7 tomorrow morning. I'll meet you there at 7:15. So it's according to the timetable. The next answer, what time should we go to the theater tonight? Around 7:30. The movie starts at 8. The movie starts maybe like this week or even this month at 8. So anyway, we use present simple. What time does it end? The movie, we mean. It's a 2-hour movie, so it finishes at 10. As you can see, we have here just sentences about timetables, that some things happen according to the timetables. And in this case, please keep in mind to use present simple. Let's move on. The next one we will have as you present continuous. And present continuous, it's also present, but we have to use it for future. The main reason for using present continuous to talk about future, when we talk about some arrangements, some plans which we have arranged with somebody or even with ourselves. We have thought about this before, we have planned that, and even we know some details of the event which is going to happen. The first one we have here, appointments. Appointments, this is when you agree with somebody to meet, like usually these different doctors. So I'm seeing the dentist at 3 o'clock tomorrow. In this case, see, it means like meet. That's why we use present continuous. Meetings or arrangements, this is the most common usage. Are you playing tennis at the weekend? So we ask the person about his definite plans, about his arrangements, because for playing tennis, you need to arrange that. You need to book a court, to have a partner, and you need to know what time it happens. And the last one, the play starting in 5 minutes. Please take your seats. These are different events which are happening in the nearest future, and for that case, we also need to use present continuous. Let's look at some exercise. It's also quite similar to the previous one. We got here 6 sentences and 6 verbs that you need to use in present continuous just to practice. Then we will have exercises with mixed tenses, but at first I would like you to practice using only them. You've got 1 minute and then we will check. So even if you didn't have enough time to do the whole exercise, don't worry. You can just watch the webinar again and make the pause and do it, and after that check with the answers. Let's look at the first sentence. What we got here? Sorry, just a sec. And the first one, Kathy is traveling to Caracas next month to attend a conference. This is planned action. This is arrangement. She has already bought tickets. She has already, well, she knows what kind of conference she's attending. Definitely, she has some kind of hotel reservation. So this is really planned. The next one. Are you expecting guests? Your apartment is so neat. How did you guess? My parents are arriving tomorrow for a 2-day visit. For sure, when our parents are coming to us, we have to clean everything. And we have here, my parents are arriving because we know what time, we know who is arriving, we know even how for how long, for 2-day visit. And in this case, we use present continuous. This is arranged. The next one. Do you have any plans for lunch today? Usually, when the person asks us about plans, it's very typical to answer using present continuous. And the person says, yes, I'm meeting Shannon at the Shamrock Cafe in an hour. Want to join us? So he knows who he's meeting, where, and even what time. The next one, I'm getting a bicycle for my son for his birthday next month. So this is again planned because bicycles are quite pricey, and you have to plan this, and even sometimes you need to discuss this with your child, whether he wants, what kind of bicycle he wants. So again, this is arranged. This is agreed with lots of people, and you planned a lot in this case. Sure, what do you want to know? Okay, the next one. Amanda likes to take her two children with her sorry on trips where whenever she can, but she's not taking them with her to El Paso, very nice place, Texas next week. It is strictly a business trip, so she's not planning. This is not, you can use present continuous not only in positive sentences, but for sure in negative sentences. And the last one, what are your plans for the rest of the year? Again, as I said before, plans, typical answer, present continuous. I'm studying French in Grenoble, France this coming summer. Then I'll be back here in school in the fall. That's it. Let's move on. Another construction which can help us to express future actions. This is the construction to be going to. We use to be going to talk about ideas for the future that we have thought about before. These are not arrangements or some definite plans like present continuous. This could be, but usually we used to be going to when we talk about something what we thought before. Like I'm going to have, I don't know, some potatoes for lunch. I just thought about this. I haven't even cooked it yet. Or I'm going to buy a house one day. The difference is that if you use construction I'm going to, these are your plans or intentions or ambitions. If you use present continuous for the same sentence, we can say I'm buying a house. That sounds quite definite. That means that you know what kind of house, you know how much it costs, and well, it's already arranged even with the owners that you're buying it. Using just construction I'm going to buy, it means just like one day I'm going to buy, or even next year, now I'm saving up. But it's not that you are buying some particular house or for some particular sum or from some particular owners. So construction to be going to must be used when we want to express our plans, our intentions, or our ambitions. Ambitions means like our desires, what we want to do. For plans, for example, let's look at the example. How are you going to celebrate the end of term? We're going to have a big party. Intentions. I'm going to finish all my work before the weekend. And ambitions. When I leave school, I'm going to work abroad for a year. I guess quite easy, and actually the construction is quite common, so I'm sure you will have no problems with expressing using it. Please keep in mind that to avoid tautology, it's better after this construction not to use the word come or go. You can use just present continuous instead. The president is coming to our town next week, not going to come. or the spaceship is going to Mars, not going to go. Lots of students like to say, I'm going to go to the cinema. Just in English, as you know, the shorter the better. So I'm going to the cinema sounds perfect, and you don't need to use this double go. Um, Try to avoid that. It's not like a serious mistake, but if you want to sound really nice, better not use it. The next tense which can help us to express future, it's very logical. We use future simple. We use future simple for lots of cases, but other cases, sorry, I will tell you in the next webinar. In this case, in this webinar, we will focus only on three main points why we need to use it. First of all, when we offer somebody something. For example, I don't understand these rules. The person says, I'll help you. I'm hungry. The person says, I'll make you a sandwich. I'm thirsty. I'll get you a glass of water. Promises and threats. I won't lie to you again. This is our promise. Or I will love you forever. Or it can be a threat. It's like a promise, but a negative one. I'll give all your clothes to charity if you don't tidy the room. So this is a threat from a mom to her son. Or I will never come back. This is can be a threat or a promise, depends on your attitude to the person. And the last one, I guess quite common usage, this is spontaneous decisions. When we just on the spot decide to do something, even during the conversation with the person, he tells us like, I'm going to a concert tomorrow, and you say, oh cool, I'll go with you. So this is a spontaneous one. If you say I'm going to, that means that you have already thought about this, or you have already even bought some tickets for that. I hope you understood what I told you. Let's move on. We have here the first one, quite simple exercise. In it, you need to use either construction to be going to for plans, intentions, and ambitions, or will as for future simple. These are our promises, threats, offers, and spontaneous decisions. I'll give you a minute to think what to use. After that, we will check. So let's move on, guys. We have here the situation. You can see, for example, speaker B is planning to listen to the news at 6. So the dialogue is, why did you turn on the radio? And he says, I'm going to listen, because he thought about that before. The second, speaker B didn't have a plan to show the other people how to solve the math problem, but she is glad to do it. I can't figure out this man's problem. Do you know how to do it? Yes, give me a pencil, and you can see it's a spontaneous decision. I will show you how to solve it. The third, speaker B has made a plan. He's planning to lie down because he doesn't feel well. What's the matter? I don't feel well. I'm going to lie down. So he thought about that before for a little while. Okay, I hope you'll feel better. It's clear. And the fourth one, speaker B didn't plan to take the other person home. He's making the offer spontaneously. Well, quite obvious answer. So, oh no, I wasn't watching the time. I missed my bus. That's okay. I will give you a ride home. Hey, thanks. I guess quite easy. Let's look at the next exercise. This is going to be maybe a little bit tricky. You have here a sentence and you have here two options to choose according to the question. And be careful, you have to use here present continuous, to be, going to, or will. As we don't have a lot of time, I will give you just a minute to look through the sentences and to think what to choose, and after that we will look at them. So the first one, do you know Amelia is ill? The answer is no. In that case, I'll go and see her. This is a spontaneous decision. Well, I have already shown you the second one. So have you heard from Paula? Yes, in fact, I'm having dinner with her tonight. This is arranged with Paula. Do you know if Bruno likes jazz? And the answer is, sorry, just a sec. Well, I hope so. I'm going to buy him a CD for his birthday. This is the person thought about that before. If you don't know what to buy for Ali, why not to get him some music? And the person says, that's a good idea. I'll get him a CD. This is a spontaneous decision. And the last one, I don't want to hear that music again tonight. Don't worry, when I get in, I'm just going to drink a cup of cocoa and before bed. So this is, I'm going to, the person thought about this before. And I would like to finish with you to think, to make you think how to answer these sentences. I would like you to talk about your next holiday. When you describe your next holiday, you can use any construction. Remember, the language you are using, it's you who is using it. So you can say what you want to say. If you have already planned it, you can use present continuous. If you have some intentions or ambitions, you can use to be going to. It can be also a spontaneous decision at the moment when I ask you this question. You say, oh, well, I don't know, I'll probably go to Tahiti, for example, or any other place. Your best friend's ambitions. In this case, better to use, I guess, to be going to. Or you can make a guess and use just well. What are you doing this weekend? This is about arrangements. What are you most looking forward to? These are your expectations. So it can be, again, any construction. Your next purchase, what you are planning to buy, an appointment you mustn't forget to keep, your next meal, and your next journey. Think about this. Think how to answer, what kind of constructions can be used to express, to answer these sentences. All right, guys, let's make a conclusion. So today at this webinar, I told you about different forms of future. This is present simple for timetables. This is present continuous for arrangements. This is to be going to for plans and ambitions and intentions. And this is future simple for offers, spontaneous decisions, and promises. I'm sure all of these constructions can be useful, and don't ignore any of them. Don't use only to be going to or will. Try to combine depending what kind of things you have. Maybe you are the person who likes planning, so then you need to use present continuous and to be going to more often. If you're a more spontaneous person, then will probably be the structure for you. Thank you very much for your time. See you soon.